So it's been 2 weeks now of having no sugar, no meat, no alcohol, and no smoking. And I can already feel that my body is quickly changing and adopting to these new things. I can feel the energy levels are different. And my God, if you obviously watch the full video, you'll see that my body vitals less than 2 weeks has changed a lot. My body weight has changed a lot. My blood sugar has changed. And so is my blood pressure. Hi, my name is Ritesh Chawla. A little bit about my journey, so you can find more details at riteshchawla.co.uk. But I run a successful business called Made to Measure. Made to Measure specializing in construction, really. So we do house refurbs, we do fitted furniture, we do all sorts of things, really. Anything to do with an extension, a loft conversion, a garage conversion. So that's all about my company, really. I also do have a small IT company called itworld.london, which is based remotely, and it helps businesses to maximizing their leads or sales, which in terms of digital marketing or creating their online presence and maybe helping them in sales as well, like a CRM system and managing their leads and sort of making sure that they are optimizing their business fully and professionally. So that's all about me. And this channel is a crazy channel. It's all about really sharing my ideas and more mainly to do with how important is physical health, followed by financial health, leading to a great mental health, and obviously, which is all that we want, is an amazing spiritual journey. At the end of the day, we're all living here just to enjoy life at the end of the day, isn't it? That is an amazing drink. Was probably a caramel frappe or something, but that's not for me. It's actually for my colleague who's shooting. There you go. So let's talk about sugar. So obviously that drink is amazing. It's been now 2 weeks I haven't had any sugar. And surprisingly, I'm actually not getting any craving. And for some reason, I'm thinking that if I probably would have that drink or maybe something sugary based, I probably will find it really sweet anyway. Because the other day, surprisingly, what I noticed is, you won't believe, my favorite dessert right there, the photograph, is a banana and a bit of apple, along with some seeds, muesli, non-sugary one, and some milk. And I sometimes find that a bit sweet. Can you imagine? It's just an apple and a banana with milk and muesli in it. I'm definitely sure if I have a chocolate cake or a dessert or anything like that, my receptors have probably calmed down. So I wouldn't find it, I'd probably find it really sweet. And I think my gut health has changed as well. So I actually don't crave it. I don't crave sugar as such anyway. And I'm a bit of a sweet guy. So I had a sweet tooth. I was liking my sweet, like in whatever form. But yeah, so that's changed. Amazing. I think the physical craving is pretty much out of the window now. Maybe a bit of a habitual thing. Sometimes I do, my habits miss it, but nothing major. Made new habits. So really, really happy. Yeah, so that's great news. Speaking about meat, well, I've come to realize there's a lot more nutrition in foods like this or foods like this rather than just meat. So I actually feel quite amazing and fulfilled when I have some raw stuff. When I say raw stuff, means a bit of salads into my diet and a bit of fruit. So what I'm trying to do is at least add 25 to 30% of raw stuff, which could be lettuce or tomatoes or cucumbers or fruits and all that into my diet, which makes me feel even more amazing, far more energetic, and I actually don't crave meat at all. In fact, I am thinking with the way I'm going in another couple of months or so, I think I'd probably prefer a vegetarian diet more than a meat diet. I think meat is more about palate. It's just more, you find it a bit more tasty than the vegetarian food as such. But I think once you make a habit of eating vegetarian food, really about fresh stuff, your gut bacteria starts to develop. Your gut biome system really clicks in, and you actually start to have an amazing after effect of a nice vegetarian meal, especially full of raw stuff, which is salads and fruits and all the rest of it. Okay, so let's talk about alcohol. I don't think I'm gonna make it uh, any longer because I absolutely don't feel any craving for alcohol. I think my keystone habit was smoking. So the day I stopped smoking, I don't get cravings for alcohol. I never used to before. I think when I was smoking, I probably would like a drink, but I don't think I do anymore. Um, I think after the 100 days, I am going to slowly introduce alcohol in my life. I wouldn't go binge like going out with friends and partying anything. I don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, there's no reason for me to drink alcohol. I miss it. And I'm sure that I'm adding a lot less calories because alcohol is a lot of calories. And I think my brain's gonna rewire. The only thing which I think I've noticed, and I think alcohol could be blamed a little bit for it, is it does play with your brain. It does. I think I find myself a lot clearer now. I think more clearly. I'm a bit more lightheaded. And I think that probably is alcohol and smoking is one of the reasons, because they do affect your mental brain because you have mood swings, right? So especially with smoking. So obviously if you had a cigarette for another 3-4 hours or so, you feel amazing. But after a while, your mood will start to drop. And then you need another little booster of a cigarette to bring you back where you were. Essentially, you're never at that level of what a non-smoker or non-drinker is. You're always trying to be that level by keep adding these bits. So alcohol makes you feel all of a sudden happy and amazing. And then the next day you're feeling a little bit low depending on how much you want to drink. Anyways, that's alcohol. It's an amazing thing to drink. But I think I'm really loving it, not missing any of alcohol. So yeah, that's alcohol. So smoking, I think I've gone past the craving, but essentially it's the habit which is ingrained. So sometimes at various times or various places I may feel the urge to smoke. Essentially it's more of a habit really. And I've managed to replace that habit with something nice like a cup of coffee. And every time I take a sip, it just reminds me that I've replaced a habit, and it gives me that satisfaction that, wow, I'm not smoking. Right, everybody, so let's look at the data. But before that, hey Siri, what's the day today?
Wednesday, 7th of August, 2024.
Brilliant. So 7th of August, I've now kind of completed, slightly more than 2 weeks now, but this data is for the second week. So let's look at the data. I'm actually really excited. So if I start by blood glucose, which is the fasting blood sugar, the very first day, my blood sugar was 6.3, which is equivalent to, if I show you here, 6.3 is equivalent to, let's go, 6.3 is equivalent to above 110. So it's probably more like 112, which is obviously diabetic or pre-diabetic. That's what I started. If you look at the week 1, it went down already, fasting blood sugar, 5.8. If you look at 5.8, if on the start, which is milligram by deciliter, so 5.6, is it 5.8? 5.8 is just about 105. It is still pre-diabetic, or you can say diabetic. And then now, which is only 2 weeks, really, mind you, my fasting blood sugar has already come down to 5.2, which is not diabetic. So 5.2 is actually a very healthy sugar count, you can say, which is just about 92 or so. If I show you the numbers here, anything between 3.9 mmol or 70 to 100 which is normal concentration of blood sugar fasting. So really excited. I mean, it's only 2 weeks. And you can see that my body, not me, but my body has already started to improve. I'm sure there's a million other things happening in my body already. But you can see this is so amazing that using sugar, meat, and of course, I'm sure alcohol and smoking also play their own part in the body. It's making so many changes. Really happy and excited with this. Speaking about blood pressure, which is another silent killer, it's called in medical history, or medical field, because some people have silent heart attacks, which is usually to do with blood pressure. Most people, blood pressure is always an issue, and the problem with blood pressure is there's no reason, solid reason behind why blood pressure some people have trouble. No reason. And also, diet may or may not affect it. Actually, diet along with exercise doesn't. The problem is I'm intentionally not exercising just to show you guys that just by really changing the diet, leaving sugar, meat, and other things, and with alcohol and smoking, if you don't include it as a part of your habit or your daily life, how changes everything. So if you look at it, week 1, I was 133 by 83, systolic and diastolic. Week number 1 was slightly up. My systolic was 142 by 83. And then I've already started to showing improvement now. So it's 127 by 81. So if I show you the numbers here, yes, blood pressure, right. So 127 is still elevated, but before that, I was on high blood pressure, which is stage 1. So you can see that obviously I'm already starting showing improvement. And if I mix that up with a bit of exercise every morning, I'm going to really do wonders. But obviously, I'm not trying to do that just yet. So that's blood pressure. Looking at the body weight, which is obviously a very straightforward way of measuring how I'm doing. So the week 1, I was 83.9. This is actually not 83.6. I've entered it wrong. Look at the day 1 video, you see the scale. I think I can bring that up on the screen here or here to see quickly that it was 83.9. And then week 1 was 83.2. So it's already at 700 grams reduction. At week 2, I'm at 81.8. I mean, this is not because of exercise as such, purely diet. Obviously, it's made a massive difference. Obviously, there's a lot of things changing in the body. Just purely if you compare 83.2 to 81.8, that it's already like one kilogram and 400 grams difference, a lot. And bear in mind, if you actually notice, every week when I do my weight measure, I'm wearing the same clothes and I'm wearing the same shoes. So all the external environments are the same. Obviously, there's no reason for any fluctuation as such. Of course, always keep about 150 grams here and there. But again, it's fasting. So I'm not taking any water in the morning, so there's no water weight as such. And it's fasting, so because I'm taking my blood sugar. So there's no element of food as such in there as well. So brilliant. So these are the numbers really. I mean, apart from that, heart rate, I could show you that's kind of gone down as well. Was elevated to start with 77 and now it's 66. Heart rate, I mean, there's no perfect way of measuring the heart rate. Obviously, a bit of exercise and meditation. Heart rate. But I mean, these are the numbers really. So essentially how I feel, I think I feel really good. It's still too early on my journey. Obviously I've got 100 days is about 14 weeks and 2 days. So I've already completed just about 2 weeks, slightly more than 2 weeks, but 2 weeks really, at the numbers. So essentially I've got another 12 weeks, which more or less about 3 months to go. So it's quite a lot of time. I'm feeling amazing. The energy levels are great. I can really feel a lot. And I really just can't wait to share my results next week. So I'll catch you on the next one.